Hello, welcome back to another video. I hope you're all well. I thought that we could do another spend a week with me video. I did one for the first time actually last week. Or in the kitchen. Constantly I felt like I'd literally got invisible bounds to the kitchen sink because that is where I spent most of my time. I don't know what's going to happen this week though. I do quite like being in the kitchen at the minute. So we might still do some baking and some cooking, we will see. But currently I've got a little bit of a charity shop haul. It's not super interesting, but in the spirit of having not done a charity shop video for a long time, I thought I better do one and show you the jumpers that I have found for the autumn, not winter, but autumn, all in one shop. All the same price, all from the same company. First thing, let me just click my mic on. This is the one that I picked up first. I wasn't going to buy anything, but I sort of really liked it. It's Marks and Spencer's, they're all Marks and Spencer's, but it's different. It's got a nice pattern and it's got some sort of, can you see the frill at the bottom? So we'll be trying that. Is a size 20, no, it's a size extra large. So we'll be trying that on. I reckon, right, somebody has had a clear out and they're a Marks and Spencer's fan. You know when you get that idea with things that were there, you can sense the same person owned all the jumpers. So again, Marks and Spencer's, different colour, size large, just like a nice knitted polo neck. I don't think that there's any wool in any of these. I cannot imagine it anyway. Oh, 3% wool, so a tiny bit of wool, but more polyester than anything else, but feels nice. And then the third one, I also got Darren a jumper from a different shop. I've been started picking Daz some bits up. Is this is very different. It's a size large but a lot bigger than the other ones, and it's just got different detailing on the sleeve and on the hem. It's got quite a lot of ribbing going on. What I'm interested in is seeing the colour differences against my skin tone, because I wouldn't usually wear the bright pink or this like mint green. I would see that this is sort of an old colour, so I don't know that it's going to wash me out or not, but we might as well try this one on first thing as I've got it in my hand. We'll try them all on, and they were all £4.75. Right, so jumper number one, got quite a lot of room in the sleeve, and can you see that the ribbing is really quite high? It's not a style of jumper that I would usually wear, and again the colour, it's not the colour that I would usually pick, but the reason why I've chose it is I thought actually it's quite a nice mid-weight jumper. I'm going to be wearing a jacket in the late autumn or winter, and I've got that many scarves that I could put a scarf on. I've got different weight scarves, so I went through a phase of buying a load, and then that would break up the colour of the jumper. I haven't got one to hand because we're now in late summer, early autumn. But can you imagine if I've got a jacket on, either a navy, I've got a navy jacket, like dress jackets, navy jacket, I've got a black jacket, and then if I needed to break it up, I could wear a necklace or I could wear a scarf. So this is not actually what I'm going to look like unless I'm in the house. I'm going to have a scarf on, I'm going to have a coat on. So I thought, right, I did and ah about it. I were in there for a little while thinking, should I, shouldn't I? But for £4.75, and it's like it's hardly been worn. Now it has got to be said, I do like a little bit of a turtleneck. I know not everybody likes them, but I do quite like the line. I like the colour. It's a nice autumnal colour, isn't it? Slightly warm at the minute because we are in early September. And I've got it on with jeans, which I do like. I like jeans in autumn, winter. But I do think that a pair of wide leg navy blue trousers would also work. I'm not keen on black. I'm not keen on black bottoms. But I do really like navy, and also maybe brown. You know, if you've got a chocolate brown, it would be nice. My footwear of choice is always Doc Martens. I haven't moved away from that for quite a while. And it were £4.25, not £4.75. So 50p cheaper than the other one. These are Marks and Spencer's actually. I paid full price for these a couple of years ago. This one is the extra large and it's £4.75 like the first one. I do really like the colour. It's nice and bright for autumn and winter because this is the thickest knit of them all. Just got really nice detailing. All three of the jumpers really are nice and different, aren't they? I think that I would just wear this with jeans. It's comfortable. And again, I'm sure it's come from the same person, you know. They're hardly being worn, so I don't know what the story is. But can you see, when you're looking, the different shades on my skin tone and how they can change the brightness of your skin and even sort of your eye colour and your hair colour and everything. So we're going to motor on with the rest of the week. Not really sure what we're going to be doing. Guess we'll see together, won't we? It is a rainy day today, so I've been rained off my gardening. I have been digging for the past day or so, and well, listen, it even hurts to sit down. But on a positive note, at least I can still feel my muscles. I know that they're there. So I'm kitchen bound again, and I've been having a look in my cupboards to see what I can use up, because if you follow my shopping videos, you know that I tend to buy random things that I never get around to using. And I found a can of pumpkin puree, still in date surprisingly. So I thought, let's have a go at turning it into fudge, pumpkin fudge. Now this recipe is well and truly steeped in sugar. It is blood sugar raising stuff, but I'm going to give it a go anyway. It's not something that I usually do. I usually try to reduce the sugar in recipes, but I am just feeling like I just want to do it. Give my friend something to try today. So I have a friend coming around this evening, and I was thinking, what can I make for her anyway? So yeah, let me show you what ingredients we need, just in case you can have a go as well. It seems straightforward enough. She says, ha 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 ha. So, half a can of pumpkin. You can get this from Waitrose and possibly at Ocado. Maybe they even sell it in Asda and things like that. I'm just thinking back to years ago when I wanted to make something with pumpkin and I had to go to Waitrose to buy it. I think that might be Waitrose or Ocado. Some unsalted butter, granulated sugar, a can of condensed milk, a bar of chocolate. I just had this in the cupboard because I use it for bacon, but I guess if you want it to taste really, really nice, you'd probably spend a little bit more on chocolate maybe. Some cinnamon, some ginger, nutmeg. I've just got one of these, but obviously ground nutmeg's fine, and a little pinch of salt. Sounds easy, doesn't it? Right, so it's ChatGPT again, and I've asked it this time to give me a recipe that is actually going to work, because it doesn't always give you the right quantities or the right cooking time. I've just got all my family messages coming through. This is one of my kids' birthdays. Oh, I've got to get the vanilla extract as well. See, it's a good job I checked. So yeah, if it works and if it's nice, I'll stick the recipe in the description box. So we've got the condensed milk, the sugar, the butter, the pumpkin puree in a pan. And now we've got to melt it all. And then we've got to stir it constantly for 10 to 12 minutes. I did double check on the amount of sugar, because 200 grams of sugar with condensed milk and a bar of chocolate in the end is a lot in it. But it just said you can reduce the sugar, but then it won't set as hard because the sugar helps it set. So in the spirit of all things autumn, I'm just going to carry on with the 200 grams of sugar and push through it. Because I haven't got a sugar thermometer, I need to drop a little bit of the mixture into the pot of water, and if it forms a sort of spongy ball that can be squoze, it's done and we can go on to the next step. If not, you need to boil it for a little bit longer. So let's Let's see if we are on to the next stage or not. Maybe it's going to need a little bit longer boiling, I don't know. It's difficult to tell, isn't it? No, I think it needs longer. At this stage I feel like I'm risking losing a finger. You are probably better to either use a longer handle spoon, gloves, or just do what I'm doing and keep a cloth nearby to wipe your finger if it gets caught. But maybe one of the two options that I've just mentioned might be easier. I do see that this is thickening up a lot now, and I've just reread the instructions, and it says that it's got to form a soft dough ball that flattens when you press it. So let's give it another go, because it's definitely thickened up. Right, I think we're going to do it this time. We're going to do it. Yes, yes, yes. So 12 minutes. Push. Yeah, I think that's as good as we're going to get. Then, straight away, we've got to add as chocolate, as spices, as salt, and our vanilla extract running out. There we go. Then we just need to mix it. Get it all combined. I don't know if I'm going to need an extra tin now. We can just have really thick pieces, can't we? I have tasted some of the mixture, and it's surprising that even though it's got all that sugar, it still has a savoury twist to it, you know, with pumpkin. I'm surprised that you can even taste that pumpkin at all. But you know, I'm fancying doing some pumpkin muffins now. Now I've got all my baking stuff out. It's brightened up, so I could go out and carry on gardening. But I've got I have this amount of pumpkin to use, maybe 2/3 of a tin. So while I'm at it, I might as well get it done. I do think that if you're not sort of a confident baker, the ingredients list for these muffins might put you off doing it. Because even I looked and I thought, oh bloody hell, do I really want to make muffins? I don't know, but I've committed to it now, haven't I? 300 grams of flour. It's a 2-bowl sort of situation that we've got going on. You put all your dry stuff into one bowl, all your wet stuff into another bowl, combine the bowls, somebody's having a laugh here, aren't they? And then fill your papers up or your trays or whatever you're going to be doing. So we'll see how this, shall we see how this turns out? Ooh, pinch of ground cloves. Coming into play now it's autumn. Ooh. That is strong. It does say a pinch, doesn't it? I don't know. Is that a pinch? I suppose it depends how big your pinch is. This is where ChatGPT messes you up. I should have read it. Mix the wet, mix the dry. What do you think that means? Where does sugar fall into that? According to ChatGPT, it goes into the wet mix. Is it going to make that much difference? Probably not. We'll see. At this point now, I just feel like chucking all this stuff into a dry bowl and having done with it. I should have read it, but I didn't. It smells nice. Those cloves are so strong, it's unreal. That's mixed in. So apparently I have to fold the dry ingredients, including the sugar that once upon a time I identified as a wet ingredient. I've got to fold it into, shall I just give that a mix first, just so we've got it combined a little bit. Fold. Oh, I feel like I'm supposed to put milk in as well. Oh, it's all going bleeding wrong now, isn't it? I mean, if this works out okay, and I've really cocked the recipe up, which I have, if you follow the recipe to the T, it's going to be bloody wonderful for you. This baking tin has lived a life of service. And it's going to continue to live its life of service, hopefully. Oops. I've managed to get 17 out of that recipe. I mean, they're probably not perfect by a long shot, but they do smell very nice. They're cooked all the way through, and I'm going to have one with a cup of tea now. I've only gone for a small one, because I'm going to have some of that fudge later, presuming that it sets. I've got to get ready for my mate coming. Are you a tidy upper? You know, before somebody comes to see you, are you a tidy upper? I'm a sort of make sure it don't look too bad sort of person. I always think that if somebody comes into my house and it's a bit messier than their house, it makes them feel good about their own situation. You know what I think I should have put in it? I think I should have grated carrot into it. Yes, maybe I will try that another time, but for now, this is nice. It has a really nice colour to it as well, doesn't it? I went wrong with my fudge. Classic case of not reading and processing, I think. So I've melted it all back down again. And now I am beating it until it can't take any more. Different product altogether. When I took it out of the fridge, it was sort of like, I don't know, a sticky mess. So I thought that ChatGPT had gone wrong, as it sometimes does, but actually on rereading, it's me. I didn't take in the directions to beat. Oh God, completely different now. Let me show you what it looks like once you've beat the living chuffing hell out of the bloody fudge. Look, completely different product. So I went to check to see how the fudge were going, and somebody, bearing in mind there's only me and Drew at home, somebody has gone into the fridge, cut it all up, turned it round so this side is at the back of the fridge, and then I think you might like it, because we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces of the fudge. So it obviously tastes nice, but now we need to taste it. Kids, aren't they wonderful? But at least we know, just by looking at this and the amount that's gone, that is nice. That is what we have ended up with. Are we ready? It's not a fudge texture. You know, like it's not fudge. Do you know what I think that I've accidentally made? Like a caramel. A really thick, dense, chewy caramel. Do you know what I think I should do with these? Before Drew eats the whole packet, I think that these would be fantastic, coated in chocolate with a little bit of sea salt on the top. It's very autumny though. I do think it's far easier to make fudge in a slow cook, even though it's not a traditional recipe, but these are nice. I'm going to pimp them up even more. My mum has just dropped me a bar of chocolate off so I can cover this accidental caramels. It's like something that you'd get in, you know, one of these chocolate boxes. They're really nice, they're really nice. I'm going to try to figure out the recipe so I can pop it into the description box, because my mum said, what about adding rum and raisin? She tried one earlier. So I'm going to have a go at trying to make some more I think what happened is the temperature wasn't quite right, and then maybe I didn't beat it enough, but you would have thought, anybody would have thought that I'd have beat that adequately, because I didn't have to get some ammo. But apparently I might not have done it enough, I might not have got it to the same right temperature. I've ordered a sugar thermometer, so next time I could monitor the temperature. I've cut them into smaller pieces because they are quite sweet, and with the chocolate on as well. Oops. It always looks easier, doesn't it, when you're not doing it yourself. Rest them on greaseproof paper. I have used about 180, do you think? A couple at a time, 180 grams of chocolate, so I don't know whether I've overestimated or I'm going to have the right amount. I think I'm definitely going to have to get another tray. I did try making jellies last week, and no, they did not work. They wouldn't come out of the moulds properly. They got stuck in the moulds. Half the product came out, half stayed in, and the consistency were more, well, it were a mixture, a hybrid of a jelly that you'd have with jelly and ice cream, and then a jelly that you'd have from like a packet of Haribo's, and I wanted more the Haribo effect than anything else. So I was going to try to rectify it, but Lord, you couldn't get it out at packets. It'd have taken me ages, and I'd have only ended up with half it syrup that I started with. So I just sacked it off, and maybe sometime in future, oops, that's a big chunk, I'll try again. But for now, I think I might have found my forte. Can't be good at everything, can you? It looks like they've spilt a little bit of chocolate over its sides, but, and I could knock it off, I suppose, if I wanted to, but why would I want to? Ugh. Oh, got a little bit of salt. They are nice. Even though they're accidental. Sometimes accidents turn out to be blessings in disguise, don't they? And they taste far better than fudge. I should have used a better quality chocolate for the top, because Mum just fetched me some from Aldi. Not the really basic stuff, but the next level up. So if I were going to do it again and be prepared, I would get some sort of green and black sauce, you know, because I always think the better quality chocolate, the better the taste. I mean, that's why it's more expensive, isn't it? Oh, but they are. And to say there's so much sugar in them, because there's pumpkin in and the cinnamon and that, they've got a savoury balance, which I suppose is quite dangerous, really, because you might eat more than what you should do. But, yeah, and I've got 3 there. It's like doing a bar of chocolate. Cool, what do you think?
It was always on fire, our house, our dreams. We were dancing on a wire, reckless it seemed. We found holes in these walls, we like what we saw. Seems so strong until it falls, the final straw. Oh, I never felt like this before. When I was trapped, you showed an open door.
One of the ways that I've cocked up this year, you know, we're trying to eat off my land. So I've left the apples a little bit too late. We've had a lot of rain recently, so I've not been out to pick them. And now I've noticed that they're softening on the branches. So you've got some that have completely sort of mummified. And then you've got some really nice big ones. You go to pick them and it's a shh, you know, when you can feel them going. So there are some more on there that are all right, but that's what I've got off it. I'm going to make a batch of applesauce, and then I've got this applesauce bread recipe, but I think it's more of a cake that I found on Facebook actually. And I'm going to attempt to make a couple of those because I'm taking kids to a homemade meet this afternoon. So I fancied taking a cake because it's autumn. Well, we're moving into autumn. It's not quite autumn as far as I'm concerned at the minute. But for some people it isn't it? Some people start the 1st of September being autumn. Mine's 22nd of September this year. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. They smell gorgeous, these apples. They've come on a lot since we gave the tree a really good pruning last year. And they smell beautiful. They're quite tart. However, they're nowhere near as sour as they used to be. So that's a good thing, isn't it? But yeah, as I say, sad innit when they start going squishy on tree. And I've just left it same with blackberries. Like maybe I didn't go out for 3 days. They're all bloody mummified. Branches, it's crazy this year. The recipe looks fairly easy for this applesauce bread. Bicarb soda, baking powder, cinnamon, cloves, couple of eggs, vanilla extract, some nutmeg, applesauce. Hopefully there's going to be enough for 2 lots of apple bread, but we'll see. Some caster sugar, plain flour, a little bit of oil. I have sweetened this, but it's still quite tart, but I'm going to leave it as it is. So obviously adding the sugar into the cake is going to sweeten everything up anyway. I've just started weighing the ingredients out, but then I've remembered I don't know how much applesauce I've made. And to make 2 batches of this, I'm going to need 480. Oh, ooh, wow. So those apples made nearly 850 grams of applesauce. A full sort of litre, is it a litre cooler jar? Aha. Who knew? Right then. So I can weigh out the ingredients for 2 loaves and still have some left for porridge. That's good. I just realised before, thankfully, I started adding eggs to hot applesauce that there's the potential for the egg scrambling if put eggs straight into hot mixture. So I've checked with ChatGPT, and it says that if I just add a spoonful at a time, 2 or 3 spoonfuls, and whisk it, then that should temper the eggs, and then I should be safe enough to put that mixture into that mixture, and it's not going to be apple scrambled eggs. So we'll see how we go. So no scrambled eggs, which is good. And all we need to do now is pour the wet into the dry. I think that maybe it would the other way around then. Oh Lord, aren't we all right? I'm hoping if this shows you out, it shows you that you don't have to be perfect. Because perfect, I am not. The one thing I'm proud of myself for is remembering to double everything. I suppose what I could have done, because I'm a perimenopausal brain, I could have asked ChatGPT to double all the mixture. So then I was just reading from a recipe and I weren't having to remember to double everything, because I were using 2 eggs and then I remembered, no Joanne, you need 4 eggs because you've doubled everything. So hopefully this is going to be bloody lovely. And I'm wondering what it's going to be like. So that it's advertised as an apple bread, but it's sort of got a lot of the cakey ingredients in. So we will see in about 50 minutes. It has to be said that I am not a clean cook or a tidy one either. You know what I've just realised? It might taste vile. And I've just doubled up a recipe. I didn't even know what it tasted like. I ended up doing 1 square and 1 loaf. And now I'm scared to try it. It's still actually quite warm. It's only been out of the oven 5 minutes. But I think I'm going to try it now, whilst it's still hot. I'm just wanting it to taste nice. That's all I'm wanting it to do. Just wanting it to be nice. It doesn't need to be amazing. It just needs to be edible. And I don't know whether it's going to be. Why do I put myself through these situations? Following recipes that haven't even been tested. I need to transfer it over to one of my recipe books. One of my many cookbooks. I can smell those cloves. Right, I can understand why they call it a bread and not a cake. Even though it's got all that sugar in it, an apple, it's still not overly sweet. How can that be? It's nice. Let me show you the inside. That's what it looks like inside. You can smell the cloves. I'm thinking I need some sort of drizzle on it of some description, but I don't know what to do. But it is nice, and I will take it with me, and I'm sure that people will eat it. And it is autumny, which is what I wanted. I wanted an autumnal baked treat, and that's what I've got. Well, it's a little bit of a hybrid, I reckon, this bread cake that I've made, because that's exactly what it is. It's not a bread, it's not a cake, it's sort of like a combination, a mixture. It's gone down very well at the place that I've just been to. Everybody's eaten it anyway. I did save us a chunk to have at home, but it all went. What I did, I felt like it needed something else to sort of maybe define it a little bit more. So I did a maple syrup glaze. Just came into my head when I was trying some. I thought, what possibly could this need? Maple syrup glaze. Really easy. Icing sugar, maple syrup, a little bit of milk. You've got yourself a maple syrup glaze. It's not going to be too difficult on this channel, is it? But yes, so that's how it's ended up. I'll pop the recipe in the description box just in case you fancy trying it, and then you can tell me what you think it is. But you know what else I did whilst I was at the home ed group? Oh yes, I went foraging for damsons. They smell really nice. Got quite a decent chunk of them in here. So I'm going to have a think of what I can do with them other than make damson gin. And maybe next week we can see what I'm going to make next video. Right, you take care. It's been lovely spending the week with you. Have a go at baking, especially now it's autumn, because it's probably one of the nicest times to do baking, autumn, winter. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. You just learn from it, don't you? And you just crack on and you do it again. Most people won't even know that you've gone wrong. If you like chocolate or anything like that though, you've got to have a crack at making those caramels, because they were absolutely gorgeous. And I'm definitely going to try to make different varieties. I think the rum and raisin one is definitely on my list. I just hope it doesn't turn to fudge. You know, now I want it to be a caramel. We're going to make rum and raisin fudge, but it's all fun in it, right? Okay, thanks for coming along. I'll see you again soon. Say bye-bye, Reggie. Bye-bye.